Alright, we're going to go ahead here and reassemble the gauge because I'm satisfied with the color that it's produced. Now, we've already assembled it up to this point. It's pretty easy, but we'll have to take it apart again. Let's put the screws back in. Okay, set this aside. Put the LED panel back onto the base there, and it's probably best to put this down here to avoid bending the needle, the stopper rather. Screws back in. Now that that's all screwed together, you just want to set your faceplate aside again and press these back together. Now the electrical prongs, make sure they line up with the connector. Ever so slightly line those up and press the two panels back together. They should also line up with these two. There's two little pins that they should press into. At this point, I'm going to insert these two black screws. Again, trying to avoid cross-threading them, so it'll make it that much harder to put back in and to weaken it. Even though I'm probably not too worried about this falling apart. Again, we're going to put it inside the gauge face because we don't want to damage that the stopper. Pull it apart to see if it comes out. See, this side is separated a little bit, so we're going to tighten it a little bit more. I guess the Honda engine torch just wasn't in there. I say that because it's kind of on my mind. I had a run-in with a Type R JDM B16 powered hatch a few nights ago. I had a canoe on my roof. I have a roof rack, and God, I was pulling car lengths on him. We can put the needle back in now. Try to align your needle up with your stopper. And put it back in just like a quarter of the way till you just feel it, start feeling resistance. Again, align it with your stopper, and a little bit of force now, just push it. It'll click right in, and then feed it right into that hole. Try to line it right at the stopper. Mine didn't go completely to the stopper. If you click it down there, it should stop right at the stopper. No more, no less. Let's go try it out in the car and see if it matches up with the measurements we took, the readings we took before we disassembled the gauges from the car. Alright, out here at the car I realized that my alignment is slightly off when I press the needle in. Just ever so slightly. It actually points right at 1.4 bar when it's supposed to be about a pinch, much less than a centimeter below it, probably about the width of the needle below it. So we're going to try to align that. Okay, right over here. See, it's at its peak of 1.4. We want it slightly below 1.4. Alright, here for attempt number 2 at alignment. I'm going to connect the gauge here, turn on the car, and see what we get. Slightly above 0 bar for my atmospheric pressure of 14 psi. I'm at about sea level. And absolutely perfect. I just took the needle out and put it right back in with this exactly at the stopper, and I am one tiny little pinch below 1.4 bar. That's exactly where I want it. I'm going to disconnect and put the shell back on. Turn the car off, disconnect, so the light show, disconnect it. Now drop it back into the surround here and just line it up, and ever so carefully cut the bottom so you don't touch the needle. Line it up and put the screw in. Line it up, put the screw in. And place it in the cup here so I can put a little bit of force behind. Screwing these back in. Grab your number 2 screwdriver. Again, the outer screwdrivers are a little bit bigger. And screw it back in. Now we're ready to put it back into this little socket here. Place it back into the unflanged area, the unflared area, and then kind of crank it back into the flared area. Push ever so slightly while giving a little bit of turn. And we're good. Grab a soft object. I'm going to use the back of the screwdriver and press. Of course, while you're turning the face of this thing on something, make sure you have it on your soft object. Now visually inspect the difference between what you just pressed and the way it came from the factory, and if it looks good, you're ready to put it back in the car. And there it is in all its glory, our finished product. Green gauges to match our green backlit gauge interior.